JT5 here, and here is how to build a no-waste nuclear power plant setup. As we continue, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd highly appreciate it. Now, building a nuclear power plant requires quite a few steps to get running, and when running it, for the benefit of those that don't know, it creates radioactive waste which you cannot sink. It just sits there, accumulating until it gets too radioactive to even approach. In this video, however, I will show you how I set up my nuclear power, where I recycle the waste and fed the recycled product to the sink. To get started, you need a location. There are only 3 uranium nodes in the entire map, 2 impure and 1 normal. Based on what you need, I choose the impure node on the upper left corner of the map and the normal one. You would also need to make sure that you have all the materials ready for transport or make them near the plant so that it would be easier to manage your preferred layout. The base materials that you'd need would be iron, copper, coal, limestone, deuterium, sulfur, raw quartz, oil, nitrogen gas, bauxite, and of course water. With all those within range or just have a little bit of distance, you can either automate crafting within their vicinity or transfer the raw materials to craft what you need near the intended power plant area. In my case, I had most of the items that I need crafted near the power plant area, taking into account the output it generates and how many machines I need, though I would just overflow everything for future proofing. So let's take a quick tour of the mess that I made for this build. As I'm showing you right now, the first floor starts with steel ingots, cement, copper ingots, with pipes pumping sulfuric acid and nitric acid. The second floor would contain the secondary crafting, which includes wire, copper sheet, quick wire, encased industrial beam, steel pipes, and steel beams. The third floor would contain aluminum casing and silica, which I transported from a faraway source, stator, AI limiter, and electromagnetic control rods. The fourth floor would now start the uranium processing. With all the materials that I have below, I can now process encased uranium cells, which in turn makes me craft the next item, which is the uranium fuel rods that the nuclear power plant needs. Thus transporting the rods via conveyor belt to the power plants in an orderly fashion. With the power plants, all you need are the rods, water, though the waste will become a problem if you don't deal with them soon. In this build, we will use the waste to craft a set of items which you can use to feed the sink machine. So as you collect the waste, you can feed it into a blender along with the other materials to create non-fissile uranium, which in turn creates plutonium pellets. After plutonium pellets, you can now craft encased plutonium cells and the final product, which is the plutonium fuel rod. Now, the plutonium fuel rod is another type of fuel source that can be used in the power plant, but it would create plutonium waste, which we do not have any crafting for it at the moment. So to not waste it, I use the rods to feed the sink, which give out about more or less 100k per item or 100k per fuel rod. With all that in place, you don't have to worry about the waste piling up and have an ample amount of power constantly working. If you want to increase the power, just overclock the machines from the first floor up to the last one so that the fuel rods that are being produced can keep up the demand of the overclocked power plants. For satisfactory vets, I'm sure you already have your own layout in place or not even use nuclear power altogether, but for the new players, I hope this guide would give you an idea if nuclear power is something worth your time and would like to try it. I hope this helps, and see you on the next one.